Hello YouTube, my name is Jammin Gaming and welcome to just kind of a unique episode. Today is going to be just a quick recap slash basically debrief of all the major events that happened in Starship Integrated Flight Test 3. You might notice it seems like it's going rather fast. It's because I put the video on times 2 speed, so since it's like a very long flight, some of the longer parts can go a little quicker while I talk. But anyway, why pick a flight test 3? What happened to 1 and 2? First of all, 1 happened on a school day, and the only reason I saw it is because I had to get up at 6 a.m. to see it. Well, it was the school. I had to be up anyway, so that was lucky. Flight 2, I just completely missed. I was never told a date. Yeah, exactly. I didn't even know the date. And Flight 3, I barely missed because my alarms didn't wake me up, and my attempt to stay up till the launch, yeah, that didn't work. So I had to basically rewatch the live stream and see some people's reactions to the major parts. But anyway, all 33 engines are lit. So just like Flight 2, actually went just like this up to hot staging, where when the Super Heavy booster, which is the first stage, tried separating, it went okay, and while it tried relighting its engines to boost back, in quotations, it blew up, basically. And the second stage, the ship, barely made it anywhere. Here's hot staging, main engine cut off, and look at that beautiful onboard shot. You see the booster turn around in shot, and this is the booster's point of view. See in the bottom left telemetry, you can see the center 13 engines all firing. This is about the time when last flight it exploded, but apparently they must have fixed it. I thought it was a problem with the fuel sloshing, and that might have been the issue. But the thing that didn't seem to be an issue, you might have saw in the telemetry, the engine shut down like not at the same time, like it wasn't symmetrical at all. So they might need to solve that in the engineering. I don't know if that was due to some sort of obstruction, but basically the engine's cut off exactly when it had to anyway, and that asymmetric engine shut off right there, I think, was responsible to the landing failure, because they were attempting to land the Super Heavy booster, which I knew was never gonna work. Okay, and as you can tell, I'm gonna go ahead and skip forward to when the ship starts freaking out and then crashes into the ocean. Alright, you can see the grid fin starting to freak out because it's trying to stabilize, but I think because of the asymmetric deignition of the engines, it led to this. So according to telemetry, it seems like the engines did start, and like way before it started getting shown, and there was the water. You probably saw the big circle around the base of the booster. I'm pretty confident that that was the water, and this is like the last moment. But yeah, the center 13 were supposed to ignite again, but I think from the asymmetric shutdown, it like only 3 engines lit, according to telemetry, and like barely even one lasted like 3 seconds. And I'm pretty sure the light should have started like minimum 30 seconds before that. And yeah, a lot of things went wrong there. But however, and that's most definitely going to cause a mishap report from the FAA. So basically, we're not going to see another launch at best till like July, August. Honestly, I think we're going to see a flight maybe in September, but I'm not even sure about that. Here is the Starship cutoff. Here's the onboard camera, of course. And last time, they actually made it to basically orbit. It's suborbit, but it's so close to being orbit. I mean, like, come on. And actually, it's a good thing they made it suborbital, because they tried reigniting just to test out the engines, if they could reignite in space. And they just didn't do that. I don't know if there was a problem with the engines in general, but they just did not go forward with that test. You'll see later. So it's better that they did end up, it had to deorbit because it didn't have the velocity, because otherwise a giant like 100-foot tall piece of tin would be, or I guess steel, would be flying around in space. So anyway, the engine cut off perfectly, and look at this image. I mean, I honestly think this is amazing. This probably is going to be in my thumbnail. Those are the ullage gas thrusters, I'm pretty sure, or just hot gas, because the fuel is like, it's, how do I explain? It's cryogenic, so basically it's liquid oxygen and liquid methane, which is usually gases, but they made it so cold where it become liquid but you'd need to make it so much colder to be a solid. But anyway, because it's a liquid, but it's constantly trying to boil off because it's not in the right pressures, so like it's just naturally gonna boil off, like it become a gas again, and they use that as thrusters. So that's kind of unique. Like, might as well use it. Like, why not? And you see, they're kind of going crazy. This is the bottom of the ship. The lower half. I'll put a diagram on screen. It's the lower half. So we're looking down, and it seems like it's going a little crazy. I don't know if they're venting and also maneuvering, or this is just a vent. And let me skip over to the Pez dispenser in quotations. Okay, so the very bottom, I believe it's a hatch, which the Pez dispenser is. Like, it flips up instead of going straight up, which is why I believe it looks like it's closed, but it's actually open. And also, you saw all that gas rush out. Now, I thought this was a fuel tank, because not till like a few minutes ago, I'm pretty sure it's open and it's not closed, because I didn't know what we were looking at. And all the mist at the very bottom, I thought was liquid being reflective. Like, look at this. I thought that was the top of the liquid. I thought this was in the fuel bay. So yeah, so that's all gas from launch, I'm assuming, that got sucked out. So it is kind of pressure tight. You can see all the materials floating around. So to my knowledge, the Pez dispenser test so they can launch Starlinks in the future. I'm pretty sure it worked pretty well, except later in the flight, I'm pretty sure it gets stuck. And yeah, but they also completed a cryogenic test. So that their whole thing is for the Artemis missions was to transfer the liquid at the very top of the Starship. I'll put an image on screen. And they were trying to move it down to the bottom tanks where the engines are located. And this is the largest fluid transfer in like history. And it worked perfectly because this is the first time fuel's ever been transferred. So that's pretty interesting. And once again, as I said, the boost back, or the attempted relight of the engines didn't work. And now is re-entry, okay? A lot of things went wrong in re-entry. I don't think they've came out with a public statement yet. But see how the ship's rotating? It's supposed to see the black side of the ship. That's heat tiles, and the whole goal is for the plasma, which you will see right now. See that? See the red? And you're about to see look at that. So the plasma, the superheated air which is getting pushed, is supposed to only land on this heat tile section. But if you notice, the ship has a roll on it. I'm not sure how this roll started, but look at this. You can see just the plasma is supposed to be directly hitting this and only this, because this is stainless steel. Stainless steel has a good temperature point, but this is also coming from orbit. So this can take the heat, at least the parts that are not missing. This is not designed at all. So you can see as the ship is rotating, which is the whole, half of the plasma is on, so the ship's coming in sideways basically. If you have a heat shield, you don't, half the heat shield which the camera is on isn't even getting used. And some of it's getting used now, but the ship is constantly rotating. I thought it'd level out the deeper it got into the atmosphere. But we lose telemetry shortly after this. You can see the plasma building up. And I'm pretty sure the plasma got too powerful as the deeper they got into the atmosphere. Broke through the stainless steel, and it just basically blew up. And I'm pretty sure right about now is when they lose telemetry completely. So that is the entire recap. The booster successfully boosted back and reignited 13 engines. However, the landing attempt did not go successful at all, and the ship did not make it through re-entry. Hope you guys enjoyed. That's my video, and I'll see you guys next time.